Tottenham Hotspur took a huge step toward qualifying for the knockout tiers of the Champions League after coming from in the back of to assert a 3-2 win over 10-guy Eintracht Frankfurt on Wednesday. In a hectic first half, properly taken desires from Son Heung-min both aspect of a Harry Kane penalty calmed the house enthusiasts after Europa League champions Frankfurt had taken an early lead via Daichi Kamada. Any hopes of a Frankfurt comeback have been dashed at the hour mark once they have been decreased to 10 guys after defender Tuta become dispatched off for his 2D reserving an account of mints after 2 times bringing down Son at the left wing. The German aspect did spook the hosts with 3 minutes closing while Farid Alado rose maximum from an in-swinging nook to move the ball down and in. But despite Kane lacking some other penalty, Spurs held on. The win positioned Antonio Conte's aspect pinnacle of Group D on 7 points. However, it's miles nonetheless all to play for as Marseille and Sporting are tied on 6 points, and Frankfurt continue to be inside the hunt on 4 with video games left to play. Everything is in our hands. We've the opportunity inside the subsequent recreation to undergo which could be a huge success due to the fact that is our goal for the season, to get to the subsequent level of Champions League, Conte advised the information conference. Spurs have been held 0-0 at Frankfurt remaining week and the site visitors began out fast, their stress paying off inside the 14th minute while Tottenham defender Eric Dier misplaced manage of the ball and Sebastian Rode squared it for Kamada to stroke in from near range. Their pleasure become reduced brief 6 minutes later while Kane became expertly all through a Spurs counter-assault and performed the ball via to Son who sprinted on intention, took touches and aspect-footed beyond goalkeeper Kevin Trapp. The equalizer additionally sparked Spurs into life, mainly Kane who burst ahead inside the 27th minute, using 3 demanding situations earlier than being barged over with the aid of using midfielder Christian Jakic. Initially, the referee waved away appeals for a penalty however after being cited view the incident at the pitch side monitor, pointed to the spot from which Kane coolly transformed for his 257th intention in all competitions for the club. Spurs made it 3-1 inside the 36th minute while midfielder Pierre-Emile Højbjerg ran to the byline and floated in a go for Son who struck the ball superbly together along with his left foot into the roof of the net. The South Korean ought to have had a hat-trick earlier than halftime, however his angled attempt becomes stopped with the aid of using the outstretched boot of Trapp. Son nonetheless tormented Frankfurt's defense after the break, ensuing in Tuta being proven a purple card for 2 times bringing down the ahead inside the area of 3 minutes. Just while the sport become petering out, Frankfurt scored a 2D from a nook while Alado rose maximum to move in. Kane had the hazard to seal the win from the penalty spot after alternative Brian Gill had been tripped inside the field inside the first minute of stoppage time. He blasted his attempt over the bar and Frankfurt pressed ahead however Spurs held out for his or her first win inside the opposition when you consider that beating Marseille remaining month. Conte become now no longer glad with how Spurs completed the sport. The coaching needs to be that no person has to do not forget the sport ended, he said. Now we're speak me with a grin due to the fact we received however believe if we completed with a draw. That could were a disaster. Spurs can seal their region inside the spherical of 16 for the primary time in 3 years once they host Sporting on October 26 and Frankfurt entertain Marseille.